So today is November 1st. It's about to hit noon, and it's my favorite day of the month. It's the first day of the month, which means I can now start budgeting. So, what we are going to do is so at the end of every month, or I guess technically at the beginning of every month, I do like a check-in of the previous month's finances and where I ended. I'm going to be doing that in a separate video, partly because I don't want this one to be super long, and secondly, because I actually need to head out in a little bit. So I just want to make sure that before I do head out and that before I do spend any money, that I get my budget done. So I'm just going to do a budgeting with me video, and then I'll do a separate video of my October finances, and then I'll also do a separate video of my YNAB budget. So if you're new to budgeting or personal finance, YNAB is a tool, a book, a philosophy, a website on zero-based budgeting. So it basically says all of your cash, you have to give them jobs. You need to tell your money what you want it to do. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I am doing videos maybe a little bit flipped, or maybe I'll save this and record my explanation of all of my YNAB categories in a different video, or maybe I'll just do it all in here. I don't know. As you can tell, this is my first YouTube video, but I love personal finance, and I don't know, I felt called to do this, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, this is a long enough intro. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, my second category here is my month ahead category, which basically means anytime I get paid, instead of budgeting those dollars out in the month that I receive that paycheck, I just dump it in this category to hold so that I can use it for future months. So I'm going to move this to my ready to assign, and then we're going to go through the budget. So I do contribute to a Roth IRA every month. Maybe I'll do a separate video on dollar cost averaging versus lump sum investing, the differences, pros and cons of each, but currently I'm doing dollar cost averaging. I'm going to skip month ahead. Cash stash is one of the only categories in my account that I make sure is aligned with my actual account, and I'm doing air quotes basically because this is like physical cash under my mattress that I have. So I just make sure that this dollar amount matches, so I won't be contributing anything here because this money that I'm going to be assigning is actually money that's sitting currently in my savings account and or my checkings account. My emergency fund, how much did I assign last month? I'm just going to go ahead and assign the same amount. I keep my month ahead plus a bunch of these categories. That to me is my emergency fund. So this one is just like if I ever get to the point where in addition to all of my sinking funds, I can have a 6-month job loss fund. That would be great, but I kind of view my entire budget almost as an emergency fund. This one I don't contribute to, but these two are basically just my deductibles for my car insurance, so I just make sure that I don't touch this money, but that I have it available in case I ever need to spend it. New car fund. I just bought a new car, as you can see by my loan, last year. So this is something that I'm not going to be contributing to anytime soon, but, because I hope to have my car for at least 10 years, if not more, but it's here as a reminder to myself that, I probably will need to start saving for it later down the line. Public service loan forgiveness payments. So if you work in a nonprofit or in a government agency, you're eligible for public service loan forgiveness. I've been pursuing this program since 2018, and of course, with all of the political stuff that's been going on, things have been on pause for a while, and I haven't been saving for as long as things have been on pause. But my income has increased over the last couple of years, and so I was like, let me just start saving because I don't know what my new payment is going to be. So let me just make sure that I have some money set aside so that once I do have to start paying again, that it's not going to throw my whole budget off, basically. So we're going to assign there. Services and fees. So this is just like my adulting category. So if I end up owing taxes, or if I need to mail something out of the post office, if I get a parking ticket, I've only ever gotten one parking ticket, but stuff like that. If I'm applying to an apartment and the application costs, $40 or a background check, that kind of stuff, that comes out of this. Tech replacement. My laptop is super old, and it's actually what I'm using to film this video, so hopefully I don't kill it in this process, but this is just me saying eventually I probably will need a new laptop, and so I'm trying to save a little bit here and there. I'll just do whatever I did last month. Travel. So traveling is super important to me. It is something that I save for. I just went on a big, like a 9-day trip to Germany and Poland in October, which is why you can see that my spent is quite a bit. I'm going to contribute $1,000 here because I'm hoping to do some more traveling in November and December. Unexpected expenses. These are just random things. To be honest, I don't really use this too much, but it's just nice to have like another buffer category, I guess. Okay, rent. I pay $18.50, and maybe it's also helpful to know that I live in Los Angeles, so yeah, just to kind of paint a picture of the environment that I'm in. It's a very high cost of living city, so just to kind of illuminate where my priorities lie. I go to a private gym for strength training and lifting, where I have a coach for every class, so it costs a lot of money, unfortunately. So as I mentioned last year, I did get a new car. My car note is $452, but I always at minimum pay $500. And then I have this category here where I've labeled it extra car payments. So basically any interest that I get from my accounts, or any cash back that I get from my credit cards, or Rakuten payments that I get, any extra income, basically, I throw into my extra car payment so that I can make a larger car note and hopefully pay my loan down faster. So I don't actually add things to here from my month ahead category or the income that's currently in my ready to assign. It's just I add throughout the month. Okay, DWP. I feel like I paid it recently. I guess that payment hasn't been processed yet, but I'm pretty sure I paid it recently. I assigned $125 last month. I'm just gonna assign $100. This month I pay $41. So here I have my student loan category. You can see that my old payment was $417. I haven't paid this since who knows when. It's been years. So here where I'm saving for it, I'm just adding $550 and I'm not contributing anything to this category. I do pay for Spotify Premium. I also pay for iCloud. I don't get employer-sponsored insurance, technically. But my job does reimburse me for my health costs up to a certain amount. But I do pay out of pocket for both dental and health insurance. And then here's my gas bill. Just gonna contribute the same amount. Okay, coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. This category just helps me prepare for any Nespresso orders that I'm going to make, or also if I'm going out and trying new coffee shops. Dining out. I didn't really dine out a ton last month, so I have a lot of rollover funds. I'm gonna go ahead and just assign some fast food. I spent almost all of my fast food budget, so I'm just gonna replenish. Takeout, and then work lunch. So my job used to pay for lunches if we were to go into the office, but we recently moved offices, and so they instilled a new policy that they'd be paying for parking but not for lunch. So now I'm budgeting for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and should I replenish? Should I just replenish, or should I assign the whole thing? I'm just gonna replenish because I don't know how much lunch I'm actually gonna be getting in November. Gas. I only filled my gas tank once last month, so let me just do that so that I have some money. Okay, groceries. I spent a ton. As you can see, I normally spend upwards of $500. It was actually a lot lower last month, which is good, but I do need to make another grocery store run. I'm gonna do what I spent last month and hope and pray that that's enough. I always just contribute $5 for public transportation and parking. Okay, and then all of these expenses are things that I save for throughout the year. They're my annual expenses. I'm gonna explain, if you have questions about my category groups and which categories go where, I'm gonna do a separate video on that because I have a whole process. Okay, so these I just highlight and then I just automatically fund. I just paid for my renter's insurance and my auto insurance. Did I change the target? Yes, I did. Okay, perfect. My auto insurance recently increased in price. So if you're not familiar with YNAB, there is a cost associated with it. And so that is something that I budget for. But in my opinion, this app, this website, this tool, this philosophy literally changed my life. And I'm happy to go through my net worth and that kind of stuff in a separate video. But yeah, I'm forever indebted to YNAB. So I'm happy to pay the cost. Okay, auto maintenance. Again, I just bought a new car and I just got my first service done, and it was free. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to it. Okay, this one is actually very annoying to me. I think I need to get a root canal, but I'm waiting. I am waiting. And I'm saving some money for that, so I'm just trying to prepare myself. I just paid my registration for my car. What is my... I don't have an end goal. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was $300 or something, so I'll just add a little bit. Medical, this is just where, my copays, my prescriptions, my lab fees, that kind of stuff comes out of. Tires, again, I don't even know how much tires are, but I'm just saving just in case. And then I do wear glasses. So this is just, I'm trying to beef up because I know that my prescription has changed and I wear glasses and prescription sunglasses, and getting both. And I also have astigmatism, so getting both can be super pricey, so I'm just saving up for that. Okay. And then these are all of like my spending categories. I'm hoping to only spend $500 the next couple of months to buy all these Christmas or all of the Christmas gifts that I'm going to be getting. So I'm not going to contribute anymore to Christmas clothing. A girl loves to shop. I'm going to assign, I want a total of 150, so I'm going to assign how much? I'm a single girl, and I do go on dates. Am I planning on going on any dates anytime soon? I don't think so. I'm just gonna throw $50 in there just in case. Decor and furnishing. So this is just like if I want to buy a candle, or if what did I buy recently? I bought a shoe rack. I also bought a shelf. So this is where those funds come from. And yeah, you can see I bought the shelf last month and it was close to $100. I'm just gonna assign 75 and hope that that's good enough. Why did this not? There it goes. Okay, fragrance. Ugh, this is so embarrassing. That's how much I spent last month on fragrance. But to be fair, it was my birthday month. So yeah. Let me tone it down. Maybe this one. I'll just do 150 and hope that I don't spend more than that. Gifts. So this is separate from Christmas. This is just like gifts throughout the year. Birthday gifts, that kind of stuff. I did have a birthday to go to last month, and I, helped a family member out with something, which I also use the gifts category for. So that's how much I spent. I'm just gonna add. Let's do the same thing. Let's just. Don't judge me for not being able to do this mental math. Giving. So this is just where if I'm donating to a cause or something, then it comes out of this one. And you can see last month I donated to a GoFundMe. I'm just going to replenish the amount that I spent. Hair care. I'm planning on dyeing and cutting my hair. And the salons that I go to cost an arm and a leg, so I don't need to add any more to that, but just preparing myself. I'm gonna add just a tiny amount here. I don't see myself spending from this category, but I like building it up. Happy spending is just like buying things on whatever I want. Comedy shows, board games, books, going to a concert, whatever. Yeah, I didn't spend any last month, but I did move some out of this category. Sure, I'm gonna add 150. Household supplies, you can see here what traditionally falls in that, but my emoji is the toilet paper. I did buy some gloves and toilet paper and some stuff last month. I'm just gonna throw in $25. Makeup, I assigned 50 last month. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. Okay, don't judge me for how much I spent last month on nail polish, but again, it was my birthday month. I'm gonna throw in 150. Personal care. I used to get Botox. It's been years since I got Botox, just because I work out so much. It doesn't really last on my forehead, but I freaking hate my forehead wrinkles. And then laser hair removal. I really don't need to add anything. So I'll just add $10. Shopping. This is just if I buy like random things that don't fit into any of these categories. It comes out of my shopping category. I'm also, let's do 150 minus 6. Okay, skincare. I did a lot of spending on skincare. I'm gonna replenish. Tech. This is like if I were to buy new earphones or I needed a new charger or something like that, it would come out of here. Let's just add 25. Toiletries are toiletries. Toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, floss, razors, whatever. Sunscreens, I don't think I would count here actually. I would count that in skincare. Get rid of this. Okay. How much do I have? I'm just gonna add And then wellness, here you can see it's my supplements, protein powders, massages, anything else. I'm just gonna add 25. Okay, and then I do have a wish farm, but I don't feel like contributing to it this month. So that's it. And now all of this can now go into my month ahead category. So let's see. Assigned in November, it's not showing me. Why isn't it showing me that I assigned everything? Okay, well, there it is. That was my budget. Everything feels good to go. Maybe I'll do like a weekly check-in or a monthly check-in. I don't know. But yeah, I'll do a separate video on all of my accounts, my growth over the years, my income, my spending, that kind of stuff. But thank you for budgeting with me. If you do have any questions or you want to learn more about YNAB, feel free to comment. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thanks, everyone.